All right, folks, good morning. I hope you guys are doing well. And if you're not doing super well, you're going to be doing well after this video because we've got a ton of Diecast news to look at. So, I didn't know this event was going on, but there was a toy fair in Germany. It's the Nuremberg Toy Fair. I honestly had no idea it was going on until pictures started popping up. So, yeah, we've got a lot to look at. A lot of mini GT. We've got Kaido House, BBR, LCD models. We've got a bunch of stuff to look at. So we are going to start off with regular pre-orders like we always do. So let's just jump right into it. We've got Mini GT. They announced a pre-order on January 20th. This one was actually pretty nice. I'm excited for all of these. But we have the Lamborghini Huracan. It is Mad Mike's drift car, the Nimble, if you will. Then we have the Liberty Walk Lamborghini Countach. I know a lot of people have been excited for that, so that one's going to be really nice. Then we also have a BMW i7 xDrive. This one is going to be white with a black roof. Then we have a BMW 750iL in blue. This is one of the castings that's originating from the James Bond lineup, which is pretty cool. See another stock version of that. Then we have the Ford Puma Rally 1 M Sport. This one's in white with a really cool Red Bull livery. And then last but not least, we have the Bugatti EB110. This one's in like a nice forest green metallic. So a really nice lineup. I'm super excited for the Huracan, and that Ford Puma is really nice. Excuse me. Also, Glenn Chow, the director of Mini GT, also announced that they are going to be doing a licensing deal with Mercedes-AMG. I'll put that picture up now. You can see him. He's standing there. I assume he's at the Mercedes-AMG's headquarters, maybe a big dealership, whatever. But yeah, we're going to see a lot more Mercedes coming from Mini GT, which I'm really excited about. Hopefully we can get some Mercedes-AMG GT3s. Maybe we can get like the SLR McLaren would be awesome. There's so many cool Mercedes that they could do. They could do the CLK GTR and show up Pop Race. All kinds of cool stuff. Let's jump over to Tarmac Works now. We do have a pre-order for Tarmac Works. This one is January 2025 pre-order. I think this might be the second one we've seen this month. But this one's really nice. This one includes a Ferrari 348 Challenge, or maybe that's a 358. I might have done a typo on that. But yeah, 348, 358 Challenge, whichever it is, in yellow. This one actually looks stock. I don't really see any aftermarket racing stuff. The wheels looked pretty OEM to me. So that's interesting. You guys will have to correct me if I'm wrong. But then we also have an RWB 997 in Tiffany blue. We have a Mercedes-AMG GT3. This one's in that really cool like yellow cartoon drawn type of livery, so I'm excited for that one. We have a Toyota Hilux in a Toyo Tires livery, so I'm sure the packaging will be Toyo themed as well. That one's pretty neat. And then we have a Porsche 911 GT3R. This one's in a yellow and green livery. I believe this is a Decra DTM car. So cool on that. And then they're also releasing an Evangelion garage tools set. So you can see you've got the little car lift, you got the little EVA R flag, you've got a little jack, a toolbox. So that one's pretty cool. I don't usually buy that kind of stuff, but I know a lot of people that do dioramas are into that sort of thing. So that is pretty cool as well. All right, let's jump into the Nuremberg Toy Fair exhibit. There's a lot of stuff. We will start with Mini GT. So they showed off a bunch of James Bond castings. I think we've seen some of these before. In fact, the two DB5s that you can see in this photo, the one with all the gadgets coming out of it actually just got released, and in fact, I think both of the silver DB5s got released. So those are out already, but it is cool to see them again in this display. But notably, we do have some new stuff, including the silver BMW Z8. They showed off a stock version of that, as you can see, and then they also showed off the James Bond version with like the gadgets. Then we have a silver BMW 750iL. This is a casting that we have already seen before. Obviously, we've gotten a couple pre-orders for stock versions of it, and then you also have the James Bond version. We have the red Mustang Mach 1. That thing looks amazing. We also have a red and white Lotus Esprit. I think those are both the Lotus Esprit Turbo. I could be wrong. I'm not super familiar with my James Bond lore. But yeah, those look really awesome. We have the orange Jaguar CX-75. We've seen those before. We have a silver Aston Martin DB10, which looks incredible. Then we have a black metallic Aston Martin DBS Superleggera, which is also looking really nice. There's a close-up photo right here. You can see it's got lots of nice carbon fiber detailing. The paint, the metallic paint that's on it looks incredible. So super excited for that one. And then let's see, what else do we have? We also got a metal prototype of the Jaguar XKR. This one has all the gadgets on it. I believe this one is green in the movie, so we'll expect that one to be green. I'm sure they'll do some stock versions as well. And then next up, we have some new Porsche stuff. So we've got a Porsche 911 GT3 RS in white and green. That one's cool. Then we also have a Porsche 911 GT3 RS in the Weissach package. This one's in red with all the carbon fiber. And then 4 versions of the Porsche 911 Dakar. So we have one in black, we have one in that like ice gray color, then we have one in white with some blue stripes. It's also got like a little number box on the hood or something. I don't know exactly what that one's from. And then we have the one that we just got on pre-order not too long ago, and it's like the Martini retro inspired livery. So that one's really cool. And then you also see in that photo we do have a new Bentley. So that is the Bentley Mulliner Batteur. That one's going to be in white. I think that sample looks really good, so definitely excited for that. We also have some castings that we've already seen before, just in some new colors. Like you have the Bentley Flying Spur in that orange and black color. You have the BMW i7 X Drives. There's one in red, and then they also showed off the one in white with the black roof, which was on the pre-order at the beginning of this video. Then they have the Liberty Walk Lamborghini Countach. Obviously, that one just went on pre-order as well. They showed off a stock resin prototype of the Lamborghini Countach, just a stock version. And then there's also some Bugatti EB110s. There's an HKS Toyota GR86. I think there's a couple more BMW M3 Touring sitting right there. So that's really cool. And then we also see the Mustang Dark Horse in a finished sample for the first time. You can see it right there in the left. And that is looking pretty good, along with a couple of the Volkswagen ID Buzz vans. So pretty awesome there. So yeah, lots of cool stuff in these photos. It's all kind of jumbled together, so if I do miss something, I do apologize. But yeah, lots of cool stuff to look at. Also, they are doing the Mini GT Senna collection. They showed off some samples, some prototypes for that. You'll see there's 2 go-karts. I don't really know, like I know that's kind of what started Ayrton Senna's career, was doing go-karts. I don't know what the go-karts are from, but you do have those, and you've got the little figures sitting in them. You do have the Honda NSX and a Mercedes 190E. This is the 2.3-16, I believe. And this one also has Ayrton Senna sitting in the driver's seat, I believe. And then there's a resin prototype of an F1 car, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I am clueless on what that is. I have no idea, but it looks cool. It does look cool. Let's see. Oh, yeah. And then Glenn showed off, I think he posted this on his page, but he showed off a huge diorama. There was like 20 or 21 of these Mercedes-Benz 190Es. They're all from the 1984 Nuremberg. I think it was a Mercedes only race. I think it was called the Race of Champions. And I'm thinking that this right here might be a giant box set with like 20 cars in it. I kind of hope it is. I also kind of hope it's not, but I don't think it would be logistical for Mini GT to release 20 of the same exact car like that. So I think this is either going to be one giant box set, or it might be split into a couple different sets. I'm not sure, but I'm really excited for those. Those are really cool in my opinion. They also showed off a Ford M Sport canopy. It looks massive. You can see that white Red Bull Puma, the one that's on the pre-order. You can see that sitting underneath of it. So that's really cool. I don't usually buy like the tents and stuff, but I might pick that one up. We will see if I have room to put it somewhere. And then there's 2 more colors of the Hyundai i20N Rally 1. So both of those are really cool as well. They showed off a new Mercedes Actros hauler. It has like a little taxi sign on the front of it, or on the top of it. And then they also showed off a couple flatbed trailers. One of them has a resin sample of a yacht on it. And then there is one, and I'm assuming that's like a big boat engine that's being hauled. So that's really cool. I kind of like, I think it's kind of neat that they're doing like boats and like different like, I don't know, like it's not like motorsport stuff. It's just more of like your like industrial type things with the truck. So I think that's really cool. And I think that's about it for Mini GT. Again, there's a lot of stuff. All the photo credit from all of these photos goes to Future Diecast Bros on Instagram. Definitely make sure to check him out. I'll have his Instagram in the description. I think he's on Facebook as well, but I'll put his Instagram in the description. That's where I think about 95% of these photos came from. So big shout out to him. He was at the event. He was hanging out with Glenn and all the guys at all these booths. He was taking pictures for us all. So he is the GOAT for this event, and we definitely appreciate him. I don't think he knows who I am, but definitely appreciate him, and go check him out. Let's move on to Kaido House. So they did have a little display along with the mini GTs at this Nuremberg Toy Fair. They showed off a lot of existing castings. Some of them are in new colors. Some are cars that are on pre-order. For example, we have the two new Mizu Diecast collaboration models. One is the Silverado, and then one is the Mini GT Lincoln Capri. But lots of stuff there. But they did have one new resin prototype sample, and it is the Toyota AE86 police car. It's got a light bar on top, so that's why I'm assuming it's a police car. It doesn't have a hood on it. Open hood. You can see the engine bay and details, so that one's pretty cool. And that's honestly it for Kaido House. We haven't gotten any new pre-orders for them. So let's move on to BBR, because they did show off some stuff. A lot of Ferraris. In fact, they only showed off Ferraris at this event. So we've got the two Ferrari F1 cars. Those look like finished samples, so those probably will be close to release, at least at some point. BBR hasn't released anything in a while, which is kind of weird. But yeah, you've got the two F1 cars. I don't really know much about those, as you guys know, but they did show off prototypes of a bunch of other stuff. So we've got two Ferrari F50s. There is two of them, so I'm assuming that there is some sort of difference between the two castings, but I can't tell what they are. But then we also have two Ferrari F40s. These are both stock. One has the headlights up and one has them closed. Other than that, couldn't really tell any differences. There might be some other minor things. But we have the Ferrari F80, so that's a brand new car from Ferrari. So I think it's awesome that BBR is already beginning the process of making that. But then we also have, and this one I'm really excited for, we've got the Ferrari SF90XX. The resin prototype sample of that looks amazing. And then last but not least, we have the Ferrari 12 Cilindri. So that one's really cool too. That is a relatively new car from Ferrari. So it's really cool to see BBR kind of hopping on and doing stuff from them as they release. I'm sure it'll probably be another year before we get them in actual diecast, but really cool to see that stuff for BBR. So that's it for BBR. Just those Lamborghini, or those Ferraris, my bad, sorry. We have LCD models next. We don't cover them a whole lot because they are usually pretty slow to release products, but they did have a big exhibit at this Nuremberg Toy Fair. They showed off a bunch of stuff. I'm not going to go through every single thing that was shown off because they do a lot of 118 and 143 scale cars, and we're just focused on 164 here. But they did show off the Lamborghini Huracan STOs. There's a few different colors of them there. I see a purple, a Verde Citria. There's a white one, so really cool. Then we also have the Lamborghini Revuelto. Tons of colors there. They all look phenomenal. They've got opening parts. Just can't wait for those. And then for Pagani, they showed off a bunch of stuff. They've got the Utopias. They've got the Zonda HP Barchettas. They've got the Wyra Rs, and they have the Amoas. Bunch of stuff from Pagani in all different scales. And then we also have some McLaren stuff. We have the McLaren Senna GTRs. These have been out for a while. I think they just like to show them off. It'd be cool if they re-released them because the 164 versions are pretty expensive now, but they did show off those three. There's an orange, red, and blue. And then they also showed off some regular McLaren Sennas, which is awesome. I think there's one in white and orange, if I'm remembering correctly. You guys have to understand, I don't have the pictures up in front of me, but yeah, those are cool. There's some McLaren P1s. There's a bunch of McLaren Formula 1 cars right there. So a bunch of really awesome stuff from LCD models. And oh my gosh, that was a lot of stuff. I think that's just about it. I do have a couple more things to kind of mention. CM Model did make a post a couple weeks ago, and they said that they have acquired licensing for Dodge, Chrysler, and Jeep. So I guess they've done some sort of deal with Stellantis and gotten licensing for those. This could be a step in the right direction for CM Model, but I'm going to need a lot more physical proof that this licensing is legit before I even consider purchasing another model car from them. Just thought I'd point that out. Also, to touch on Pop they're going to start including licensing information on every single car that they put out. So stand by with Pop Race. I haven't made a video about that yet just because I've been kind of waiting, because it seems like a lot of people have been making noise about it. But stand by for that. But it looks like Pop Race might be starting to go in the right direction as well. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye on CM and Pop Race both. I don't know if you guys saw, but Hot Wheels is bringing the Ferraris back. I know we don't do Hot Wheels here. We don't really talk about Hot Wheels. I don't collect them. I used to collect them though, and I remember how cool the Ferraris were. So to get Ferraris back in the Hot Wheels line, I know is going to excite a lot of you guys. I'm actually a little bit excited too, just to kind of see what they do. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Diecast news. I don't think I have too much else for you. I will mention there was one thing with Inno64. For the Wired Music Festival, they did release a Liberty Walk Mazda RX-7. I don't know if those Innos are licensed by Mazda or just Liberty Walk. Not sure. It's not even branded. It's an Inno64, but it was made by Inno for that event for whatever that's worth. Those were stupid limited, so not really concerned about that too much. But I will leave you guys with a meme that I saw the other day that I thought was really funny. So, you guys know there's a bunch of crappy, unlicensed Chinese diecast brands out there. This one might be Resin, I can't remember. But we have God apostrophe Wealth 64 with some actually really nice looking Lamborghinis. But yeah, God Wealth, don't forget the apostrophe, 64. I don't even know what to say. So I will just leave you guys with that.